Sure.
Yeah, like by the time I get to Phoenix, we did yes.
Shadow of Your Smile.
Yeah.
Johnny Winter doing
a couple of Hendrix songs, whatever we needed to play to get by in whatever particular place we were. It was Uncle John, really, who talked Johnny into doing blues. Because Johnny loved the blues and he could play them so good. But at first he was afraid to do them because he was afraid we couldn't work. And he was right.
Yeah. I think the key that opened the door for us a lot was Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
We all three loved Jimi Hendrix, so the first blues rock with a real hard power edge on it that we indulged in was Jimi Hendrix's music. From that, we moved on into our own bluesy thing, which was, as you know, was rocked up a lot from what was before us.
Right.
That was kind of what we wanted to do. We couldn't be Jimi Hendrix, but we created a real rocked up blues sound for a trio. There weren't many trios around at the time.
Well, you know,
that's all we needed was three with Johnny Winter.
Yeah, you guys had a fat, full sound, absolutely. Well, you know, when I talked to Johnny Winter, he called in about 3 or 4 weeks, and he just loves Jimi Hendrix. And Tommy, you and I have talked about this. I think we all agree that Jimmy was very, very special, just a very deep player. Now, oddly enough, when I mentioned Eric Clapton, I said, Johnny, was Eric Clapton an influence on you? He said, no. And we came up together doing the same thing. It was amazing. But did you guys also saw Cream, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did y'all see Cream together?
We went and saw them in Houston, didn't we?
Yeah.
They were good, but no, at the time for what we liked and what we were into, as great as Cream was, they weren't any match in our mind for the Jimi Hendrix experience.
Right.
Yeah, we saw one of the first shows in Houston.
Yeah.
And it was beyond anything we could even imagine.
And you guys actually got to know, we talked about this last time, you guys got to know Jimi Hendrix a bit, too, from the jams at the scene in New York.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, and I don't know how long Johnny was around. Because I know after you guys left Texas and went to New York, things got pretty crazy, didn't they? Busy? Doing festivals and things?
Oh, yeah. We got busy after a while, but, you know, we went up there and we stayed there and played a gig 1st of January, and then we didn't play another gig till 1st of June.
Wow.
It was a strategy thing with the management stuff to promote us and hold us back and just get the general audience just drooling for us. And so we had a few months there. I think it's kind of good. I think we went into New York and learned how to soak up a little bit bigger culture than the hit culture that we had come from. We learned a little more about how to act, how to dress, how to be something besides hits from Texas.
You should have seen us when we first got there.
Oh, God.
Tell me, Tom. Tell me about that. I mean, here you guys, you're playing joints in Texas. You guys, I mean, you're just living hand to mouth, basically. And Steve Paul more or less brought you guys to New York, correct?
Right.
But tell me about when you first get to New York. I want to know about this. It had to be mind-blowing. It did.
Well, you have to remember, like in my case, I went to high school in Dumas, Texas. That's way up in the Panhandle.
Yeah.
And I mean that place is full of hicks.
That picture show.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Exactly. And when I got up to New York, I mean, I was blown away. I couldn't believe how different it was, and just how much smarter everybody seemed to be than me. And I remember when I talked, some of the people would laugh. I'd say, y'all, and we were fixing to do this.
You know, the thing I've noticed, Kentucky and Texas are very kindred in a lot of ways. We're just hicks. We're good folks up here, but there's something Texas and Kentucky can hang together.
South, I guess.
Yeah, well, what'd you say, John?
I guess it's the South.
It's just the South, man. But I always feel at home down there. But yeah, I know when the Headhunters first went to New York, people would say, "What'd you say? Can you say that again?" And then they would just get you to say it again so they could get someone else to listen. So listen to this.
Just they could laugh at you.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think one of the first things we did shortly after we were in New York is we turned to Johnny or the management and said, "We need a little extra money here to go buy some clothes." And we figured out that our thrift store Sergeant Pepper band suit and stuff like that was not going to cut it in New York City.
Where'd y'all go shopping at?
Granny Takes a Trip was the only one I remember. There was, down in the village, there were hip joints everywhere in New York. You find one got what you want, and you just stick with it. And you have a handful of places you might frequent. Early, we found a tailor in the ball game who was doing Liza Minnelli and stuff, and got us a bunch of pants, velvet pants made like Jimi Hendrix's.
Ooh.
No pockets.
Oh man.
Oh, you know what? Pockets weren't cool.
No.
No, I feel like we probably grew 10 years in one there.
Yeah.
It changed so fast. Everything.
Oh gosh, what a time! What a time! Late '66 to the early '70s for music was just amazing. Can you just, when you think back to what was going on, you just go, what was it? I mean,
I wouldn't trade the experience in my lifetime, because the '50s was opened up the question marks and started answering questions in your mind for you. And then the 60s, like the 50s, here's all the flowers and plants start to grow. And then the 60s, here's all the flowers have come out. And you are living in a period where music is so free. And me and Tommy used to listen to a whole lot of music back then. And just discovering things mostly from California or New York. They were way ahead of us in Texas at the time.
Yeah, it was an amazing time. The 50s, taking its cues from, of course, we had lots of great blues coming out of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
From Chess Records, which Johnny Winter was devouring, learning about. Then all the great Chuck Berry stuff.
Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley was there,
Oh, gosh. Absolutely. Who were some, and there again, we've talked about this, but we've got some different people listening. Some very early influences to you two guys. Y'all, as drummer. Okay, John, as a drummer, who are some of your influences?
Well, when I got old enough to have major influences, of course, there would be Mitch Mitchell.
Yes.
With Jimi Hendrix. And Ginger Baker, I learned some things from him that I still apply today. Mm-hmm. And like so many more people, about half the drummers in the world, you won't find anybody hardly anywhere in the rock or blues business that doesn't love John Bonham. And that includes me.
You and John Bonham got to be buddies.
Yeah, I got to know him. I had the first big set in the United States. I ordered them out of Manny's Music in New York. They weren't in the Ludwig catalog. And I said, look, I saw a guy. I got to call Ludwig on the phone. I said, I saw a guy last night playing at the Fillmore East. He had this big set of drums, big-sized drums made out of a natural maple wood. And I know you made them. I want some. So I probably had the first big 26-inch bass drum modern kit, as opposed to the old bass drums of the swing era.
Right.
John Bonham kind of brought back the oversized full kit. He probably was